All right, our first coach today is Illinois head coach Ron Zook of the Leaders Division. Zook returns for his 7th season at Illinois after leading the Illini to a victory in the 2010 Texas Bowl, the team's first bowl win since 1999. Illinois won 7 or more games for the first time since posting 9 victories and earning a Rose Bowl berth in 2007. The Illini welcome back 15 starters this season, including 8 on offense. Again, we will invite Coach Zook to make an opening statement, and then we will take questions. A reminder to please raise your hand, get the attention of one of our microphone holders or myself, and we will call on you to make sure that your question is heard on the TV.
Thank you. Well, I guess I get it started off. Obviously, this is the time of year that everyone's awfully excited and looking forward to it, the anticipation of the season. I'm probably a little bit more excited to get back to work. I endured both my daughters getting married this summer. I learned I learned how to take orders and stay out of the way. I also learned a new meaning of organized chaos. So I'm excited to get back to work and looking forward to the season and looking forward to what's ahead for us. I think we've got a lot of things at the University of Illinois to be excited about. First of all, coming off a positive bowl experience, I think our guys have maintained that same attitude from the day we got back in January in the off season. They've continued to improve. They have continued to do the things we kind of set in place last year. We have only one new coach, one turnover on our coaching staff. Brought in a guy from the NFL that's done just a marvelous job with our players. And we're to the point in time and going into the second year of both a new offense and a new defense where players know the coaches and coaches know the players. And I think obviously you've heard me say this many times. I think coaching is putting players in position where they can be successful. But can't say enough about the attitude of our team, the way they've worked, the leadership that's come forth. Obviously, we're excited about our quarterback. I think even though he is only a sophomore, he's a young man that's continued to improve not only on the field, but I just can't tell you the way he leads off the field is just is unbelievable. And it's been fun to watch. And he's a guy that. Obviously, as I said, you have to remember he's still just a redshirt sophomore, but he is a guy that continued to improve. I think if you look at the first half of the season where he threw 7 interceptions to the second half of the season where he threw 1 interception, he obviously not only did he learn to take care of the football, but tried very hard to do the things that our coaches put in place for him to do. I think offensively we have a chance to run the football well. We've got some obviously holes to fill as everyone does, but I think that's the exciting thing about a new season is it gives guys an opportunity and gives guys a chance to step up and kind of show what they can do. So we're excited about where we are. We're looking forward to the start of the season. We start our players report next Wednesday. A week from today is our first practice, and we're excited to get going.
All right, at this time, we'll take questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone over to you. Go right over here first.
Coach, I'm interested from outsider's perspective looking at what happened with Ohio State. Do you view that as, when you're watching that, do you cringe because it's bad for the conference, or does part of you think it's an opportunity for us to make some ground on Ohio State, which has been dominating the conference?
Well, first of all, I think you cringe because it's unfortunately, it's something out there in college football. It's something that we just had a long talk with the commissioner, which I think is very important. I think if you look at the game of college football, the popularity of college football is unprecedented. There's so much exposure, there's so much excitement, there's so many, everybody's looking, and so it's obviously very, very important that everybody, not only the Big Ten Conference, but everybody in college football does everything they can do to protect the game and obviously respect the game for not only where it's going, but where it's come from, and so you hate to see those things happen. Obviously, it's lessons that we as all coaches have to look at and maybe rethink and obviously help your players in education and learning what's right and what's wrong from that standpoint as well.
Next question, raise your hand. We got one over there. You can go ahead and raise your hand while a question is being answered. We'll get a mic to you.
Coach, I wonder if you could talk about the impact of a high-energy newcomer like Russell Wilson up at Wisconsin.
Well, I mean, obviously, anytime you got a high-profile player in there, it creates excitement. It creates stories for y'all to that just once again raises the level of interest in the game. But I think right now I'm more concerned about the University of Illinois and maintaining the things that we've started. And I think once again, it's up to us as a coaching staff to build on those things. So. But I think anytime you have any positive things that happen in the conference, I think it's great for the conference.
Coming back and all the new coaches in the league this year, how can you use that to your advantage this year, returning as an experienced head coach in this league?
Well, it's hard to believe going into my 7th year, and I'm actually 3rd in seniority. It's kind of mind-boggling. But, once again, I think outside of new offense, new defenses that your teams have to prepare for, usually when you're in a league for a while and it's the same staffs, and you keep books on those teams, and you're able to go back, however many years that staff's been there, and look at the things that they've done, whether it be offensively, defensively, or on the special teams. And I think the maybe a little bit of the disadvantage is when you got a new staff, and there's going to be a lot of new things. And even though in the course of a football game, your players have to react to new things, there's no way that you can cover everything. But still, the teams that you're the most familiar with, usually you're able to have the best plans for, and maybe be looking for some expectations or expecting some things that may happen. But when you have new staffs, new offenses, and new defenses, I think there's a lot of new things that's hard to prepare for.
Coach, I want to ask about divisional play. You were in this at Florida, one of the few coaches probably in this league now that dealt with that, just the dynamics of that. What does it mean for those 5 division games that you have to play out of the 8 conference games, and just the advent of the championship game? Just is that going to bring some excitement, I guess, to the conference where they've been dark that weekend before? Just your thoughts on that whole dynamic.
Well, I think the whole thing is exciting for the league. It's exciting for all the fans. I mean, you right now, it used to be one of your primary goals was to win the Big Ten Conference, because if you win the Big Ten Conference, then you're going to have an opportunity to play for it all. I mean, that's where the conference is. But now with the championship game, now that obviously everybody, your first goal is to get to the championship game. You cannot win the Big Ten Conference unless you get to the championship game and then obviously win the championship game. So I think those things, it's going to create more excitement. It's something that, as you mentioned, I played in the first championship game when we played Alabama in Birmingham, which is supposed to be a neutral site, but I think this will be more of a neutral site playing in Indianapolis. But I think it's going to be exciting for the conference, and I think there's going to be more interest across the country, and it'll make it more interesting.
We'll go to the back here.
Coach, can you give us an idea how you feel your offensive line is going to shape up this year? It appears you've got a lot of experience back at that position.
Well, we feel very, very good about our offensive line. We got one tackle spot, Corey Lewis, who's a young man that didn't go through spring. He's coming off knee surgery, but he will be back. I was working extremely hard to get him back. But we got some guys there, Jeff Allen, who's one of the young men that's here with me today, Graham Posick, our starting center, Jack Cornell, who's a senior guy that played an awful lot of football. We got 3 guys that we feel like are really solid players that can help us win. And I think, once again, our offensive line has got a chance to be our strength. Hugh Thornton, another guy who's going into his 3rd year as a starter. So we got a lot of experience there, a lot of guys that they know what to do. And obviously, I think in this conference, as in any conference, I think you have to be able to run the football. And it's something that our offensive coaches have done a great job in implementing a system that allows us, particularly with our quarterback, to not only be able to run the football, but get him on the move and move the pocket and so forth. And so you feel very good about where we are offensive line-wise right now.
Go to Adam.
Ron, what are some of your thoughts on the schedule and some of the things that are different about your schedule this year as opposed to the past few seasons?
Well, we're excited about our schedule. Anytime you play 8 home games, I think this is an opportunity for us to, as I said, we play first five games at home. I think the Big Ten games that we have at home, we play Ohio State at home, we play Northwestern at home, we play Michigan at home. We play Wisconsin at home, so you like that home schedule. We go to Indiana, we go to Purdue, which are close trips. Go to Penn State, which our guys, I don't know, for some reason our guys love to go there and play, and then we ended up at Minnesota. So I think in terms of the way the schedule is, with all 4 non-conference games being at home and is exciting, we're looking forward to being able to stay at home.
Hey, Coach, were you hoping that any of your 3 premier big-name guys would have returned for their senior season this year?
Absolutely. But you know what? I think that's the thing about college football. And I can remember when Herschel Walker came out, it kind of hit me. I said, you go to college to learn how to make money, and this is an opportunity for these guys to go out. Sure, we'd love to have him back. I think with Corey Legit, I think if he would have come back, would have had an opportunity maybe to be a top 5 pick. I don't think there's any question Martez Wilson was a guy that both of those guys, their football's in front of them. Martez and I texted them both. Actually, we text back and forth this morning. They're excited about getting started and getting going. Of course, Michael had a great year for us. And it's an opportunity for him to go on and play in the National Football League. These are dreams that these guys have had, and but I think that's part of when they made the rule that you could come out after the 3rd year. I think that's something that a lot of these guys, if it's right, aspire to do. And so I didn't try to talk any of the 3 out of it. Obviously, I gave them what I felt were the pros and cons, particularly with the things that were looming in the NFL. I thought it was very, very important. The work that they were going to miss, which they've missed, was going to be important. But once again, it's decisions that they've made, and I've stayed very, very close to them, particularly with Martez and Corey. We usually text back and forth a couple times a week, but they're very, very excited about the opportunity that they have right now.
Time for one more question, 1 or 2. Got one over here in the middle.
The offense set quite a few school records last season. It was a very successful year, and especially towards the end of the season, in the last 7 games, guys averaged 42 points per game. Can you talk about the impact that Paul Petrino and the rest of that new offensive staff had as the season went on?
Well, I think the best thing that our offensive staff does, and Coach Petrino being the offensive coordinator and coaching receivers, is once again putting players in position where they can be successful. And I think that's the thing that's exciting about coming back the 2nd year. Everybody knows everybody. The players know the coaches know the players, as I said earlier. But they know more importantly know the things that they do the best. And our offense got better as the season progressed. And as you said, the last half of the season we did a pretty good job on offense. And there's no reason to think that we're not going to pick up right where we left off. The off season's we've had great work. Thought we had a very probably the most physical spring practice I've ever been around in terms of on both sides of the football getting after each other. And we were fortunate enough to get out of there without any major injuries. And so there's that's kind of the excitement. And once again, it's our job as a coaching staff is to keep that positive excitement going or feeling going and continue to improve.
All right, that's all the time we have for Coach Zook. Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you.